that, we move on to the second presenter, who will be speaking or presenting on the reading the concept of al-Gharar on the background of Robo-Advisory, one more step towards Halalan Toyyiban lifestyle. The person is Brother Ashraful Khalq. Is actually from the Center for Development Studies, Jawahariya Nuru University. Please, the floor is yours, Brother Ashraf. Please do not forget that you have 12 minutes to present. At 10 minutes, I will remind you when it is time to stop.
Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible?
Walaikum salam. Please go ahead.
I'm Ashraful Khalq from Center for Development Studies. I am a research scholar. I'm here to present one of the papers I co-authored with my two senior friends, Sayyid Muhammad Muhsin and Mustafa Matjubri Shamsuddin. The title of the paper is Reading the Concept of al-Gharar in the background of the Robo-Advisory, one more step towards halal and Toyyiban lifestyle. My presentation is designed in the following manner. The first would be the introduction, and the second session would be a brief description about the al-Gharar, the concept of al-Gharar and its implication in the financial transaction. And the third would be the Robo-Advisory and information asymmetry. And fourth and fifth would be the graphical representation, how my idea will work. And the last would be the conclusion. Okay, this is all. Can I move to introduction? Next slide. We all know that we witnessed a series of technological development and technological innovation in last 2 centuries, especially last 2 centuries, and each and every aspect of our human life, we witnessed such kind of technological development. In the financial sector, we can see that there was a huge amount of the technological innovation. If we list, we can count advent of ATM and the birth of the credit card and debit card. Just like online banking, each and everything is a technological innovation, the outcome of the technological development in the financial sector. Among this technological innovation, Robo-Advisory is one of the new one in the financial sector, and it is with a huge potential even to redefine the scope of the advisory, financial sector advisory. And the thing is that the easy accessibility and affordability, these are two characteristics that make this Robo-Advisory most affordable or most useful even for the layman. So even I'm sitting in the private room of my house, I can access and I can easily go to the advice from the Robo-Advisory platform. And the thing is that it is affordable also. That means it charges only very less price. So it is even affordable for the layman with a lower investment potential, and with a huge database as well as a data set, and employing a more sophisticated analysis tool, Robo-Advisory help us to come with a combination of assets that will give higher return. And Halal and Toyyiban lifestyle, in my paper, I want to refer the Halal and Toyyiban lifestyle is a lifestyle which adheres to rules and regulations that framed by Almighty Allah. Amongst the rules and regulations, the rules and regulations that relate to the financial transaction is very crucial, that we are human, we need the financial transaction. So our financial transaction must be in adherence with the divine rules. So among the rules and regulations, one of the rules that wants us to follow, it is that our each and every financial transaction must be devoid of the al-Gharar. Al-Gharar, which literally means uncertainty, it is usually attributed to the information asymmetry where any of the stakeholders having the disadvantage of the information. So which will result in the possible incurring the loss. Can you move to the next slide? So, in this slide, we will discuss about what is al-Gharar and what is the implication it will make in the financial deals. We all know that Islam begs for the financial purity, just like our spiritual purity. Islam wants us to be following a purified way of the financial transaction. Among the certain things that we have to follow, the fundamental things that we have to follow is that our each and every financing transaction must be divided from the two fundamental things. One is al-riba, which means usury, and the second one is al-gharar, which means uncertainty, and third one is al-maizir, gambling. And the thing is that we all know this al-riba is a process where the money will produce the money. It is prohibited in Islam and it is considered one of the biggest sin. The second one is al-maizir, gambling. It means that a person will gain the profit at the cost of another one's loss. So if I am gaining and someone will losing, if something is happening this way, then it will be prohibited. And the third one is al-gharar, that means uncertainty. This is a focal point of my presentation. Al-gharar means that, literally means uncertainty. In the classical text, it's defined as a condition where there is a probability of incurring loss and the probability of the gaining profit. And the probability of the incurring loss, it is higher than the probability of the gaining profit. So, al-gharar, by our jurists, by our fuqaha, it's classified into two. One is al-gharar al-fahish and the second one is al-gharar al-yasir. Al-gharar al-fahish, it means that the gharar, uncertainty of the larger magnitude, and the second one, al-gharar al-yasir, it is meant that it is uncertainty of the lower magnitude. So, as al-gharar al-yasir is inevitable in most of the financial tools, it is tolerated in Islam. But when we are coming to the al-gharar al-fahish, it is not tolerated at all. When we are coming to the Maqasid Sharia perspective, we see that ifzul mal, that means to preserve the money, is one of the al-daruriyat al-khamsa. It is one of the 5 fundamental objectives of Sharia. So to preserve our hard-earned money, we must abstain ourselves from those transactions where the probability of incurring loss is higher. Can you move to the next slide? The thing is that in the most of the financial tools that have appeared recently, most of them are having fluctuating values. So the value of the share or the value of that financial tool, it will change very fastly. For example, now if it is a low, the next moment there's a high probability that it will move to the high. The very next moment is a probability that it will come down. So the value is fluctuating, and why it is fluctuating? The thing is that value is the price of that financial tool. It is determined by the supply and the demand variable. Among the demand variable, there are so many variables that affect it, and one of these is that economical as well as a political scenario of that financial tool. So, among the answer al-gharar, among the variable that gives al-gharar more and more magnitude, it is that information asymmetry. Information asymmetry as well as a lack of the good skill to read the market trend, and how the new economical as well as a political scenario will affect the financial tool, the lack of to read as well as to respond. These two skills make the al-gharar more and more magnitude. So if information asymmetry is removed fully or partially, and if we acquire a good ability to read the market trend as well as to deal and to respond with a new development, we will be successful in removing the al-gharar either fully, it's not that much possible, or to reduce the magnitude of al-gharar from al-fahish to al-yazid. So, how we can obtain this skin? There's a two possible way to obtain this golden feed. One is that make the free information as well as a rationality. We all know that free information is an assumption. It is not reality at all. It's an abstract that is present in some of the theoretical work. It is not there. We all know that the free information is not free at all. We are all subscribing databases with giving huge amount. So when we are coming to the layman to subscribe such database is not possible. And the rationality, it is also a theoretical assumption. It is not that much in reality. So what is the second best option? To institutionalize a mechanism that will provide the information and advise the investors to act accordingly. Can you move? Next slide.
We have 2 minutes, brother.
Sorry. Okay. So the robo-advisor, what it is? It can be defined as a mechanical advisor with minimal human intervention, and that gave with a huge databases and with the help of the analytical tool, and it will give the advice for the investors to choose the best combination of asset. The study shows that the return of the asset combination that selected by the robo-advisory is much more higher than the asset combination is selected by even by the mutual fund organizers.
Brother Khalik, you have 2 minutes to complete your
okay. I'm moving.
Just a reminder. Thank you.
Okay. Can you move to next slide? Hello. Can you move to next slide? Next. Okay. So how does it work? A person, a layman, who are going to who are going to invest in a financial tool which higher volatility, if he's using robo-advisory, the robo-advisory will analyze that the characteristic of the financial tool with a huge database process as well as a sophisticated analysis. Then if a person go through the robo-advisory, there is a chance to reduce the probability of incurring loss. Meanwhile, if he is going without that robo-advisory, there is a huge probability to end in incurring loss. Can you move to the next slide? Okay, next. So what happened when we are using robo-advisory? There is a broadened opportunity. There's a wider opportunity to invest in so many financial tools, and with with the volatile prices. So by using robo-advisory, even the layman, they can end up using and utilizing and exploiting the market value of those financial tools which a larger uncertainty. The uncertainty, because by using robo-advisory, it can be the magnitude of the uncertainty can be reduced from the higher magnitude to lower magnitude. So how it will contribute to the halal and Toyyiban lifestyle? It is the end of my presentation, that a person who is using robo-advisory, he can invest in those assets plus the traditional asset as well as those assets which higher volatility, and it becomes the Sharia compliant because robo-advisory, by using data, huge databases and big data analysis, they are reducing the probability of incurring loss. So the domain or the opportunity to invest in Sharia compliant asset will be higher. This is how this works. So this is all the end of my presentation. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. There's one question here waiting for you. And the question is, there is an increasing platform of investment using robo-advisory, such as Wahid investment. So how, as a consumer, we can ensure the integrity of the system is really Sharia compliance?
Actually, can you repeat the question? I didn't get it.
Okay, the question is that there are so many platforms for robo-advisory. Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the question is, how can we really ensure that this platform are Sharia compliant?
He has given the example of Wahid investment. Wahid Invest, it is a UK-based robo-advisory, and it is one of the advisory which give the consumer the asset combination which will in adherent with the Sharia compliance. So the question, how we can answer the question in this way, that we have to read the way that this robo-advisory, how it works, then only we can understand whether it is work in Sharia compliant way.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any other question from the audience? Okay, I have the opportunity to go through your manuscript, brother, and of course I can say that your research is actually a very good research. So thank you so much for your wonderful job. So thank you, and that's the end of your presentation. Dr. Nurhaya Benjamin is here. and you have about 3 minutes to end your presentation the other time. Do you want to complete?
Sorry, brother. I
Okay,
think
it's
I've made a
okay.
lot of technical mistakes.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, sure. I
So,
think as long
so
as I don't take any